Brian looks like we dragged him out of bed and he doesn't really want to do this. Marshall,
I'm tired. I told you I'm tired.
The cigar is not helping.
It is helping, actually. It's helping, but I just got it lit.
Nick was late, but at least he's awake.
Yeah, it's the middle of the afternoon.
Hi, and welcome to this series on Back to Basics. I am joined by my two great friends, Nick Ngoti, we call him Nick, Brian Marshall, we call him Marshall. So guys, thank you and welcome. I'm so looking forward to this.
Us too. Sounds like fun.
Thanks for having us.
We've been threatening to do this for a while now, so it was about time. We often get together on a Friday and we will have a drink and talk about whatever, anything and everything. We'll talk about it. So we're like, we should record these things and get everybody else in. So welcome to our conversations. So today we are, maybe before we start, Nick, do you want to talk about why we decided to call these Back to Basics?
Yeah, definitely. I think we came from a lot of conversations of different things that we do and challenges we face with clients and compliance and all those things. And it really, we end up saying the same thing all the time. It comes back to the very basics of things that, even though compliance standards may be different by industry or requirements by an organization, there's a million variables that can come into play. We tend to say the same things over and over. Here's the things you should be doing. And it's the basics. Here's the things you should do.
And people are putting themselves in harm's way over basics, things that are best practice anyway. So we're going to be talking a little bit about those best practice things. We're going to start with inventory, asset management. Brian, do you want to comment first on why inventory asset management is an important one for us to start with?
Yeah, the fun and exciting world of creating and maintaining lists. As with all things on the basics, it all starts with knowing what you have. It kind of boils down to you can't protect what you don't know you have, right? So you have to maintain a list of all of your systems, and you need to know who's responsible for them, who the owners are. And everything stems from there. Everything else, cybersecurity and compliance starts from that inventory.
I love the analogy that Nick uses on this. It often makes me laugh when Nick is speaking at a conference and he talks about the importance of inventory. Nick, you got to tell them how you always say it.
It's not everybody always understands the technical. Sometimes your audience isn't always IT or security or compliance folks. So I always try to equate it to like a physical building. If you're a security or alarm company, you get the phone call, hey, can you protect our building and tell us what do we need to do? It's really hard to answer that question. Like, well, what do you have? Is it a one-story building with 2 doors and a window, or is it a high-rise with 2 underground entrances and 37 public-facing doors and all these other and a skywalk to the next building? And without knowing some of those things, it's really hard to start being able to define what security really looks like for a building. So, and likewise, if you don't know what you have, to Brian's point, if you don't know what you have as far as systems to protect, how can you say that you've drawn a line of security around those systems? And then, and to Brian's point, it stems from there. Everything else kind of feeds off of those pieces. Where's your data? What are you protecting? What's important to your organization?
And I had to plug the book. I obviously always speak from an audit perspective. So even if we're coming to do an audit, for us, it's looking at your scope first before we even start looking at anything else, because everything else is going to be wrong. It's not going to be accurate information from the audit if we're not looking at the entire environment properly. So scoping, inventory management, asset management, understanding exactly what you have and what you're trying to protect is crucial before you start anything.